確かになんで私あんな後つけるような真似して。それはたまたまよ。
So if you've been here a while, we keep it a buck here. We keep it 100. You know what I mean? 100. With that being said though, like I gotta be 100%. And like I didn't really like episode number 3. I don't think it was very good. Now it doesn't mean it was bad by any means. It was an episode. It was an okay episode. And there were things, so don't get me wrong, there were things I did like about the episode. There was some specific fan service I did enjoy that was just kind of out of nowhere for me, honestly, that I also enjoyed. And, you know, I ate it up. But overall, like I would just say this episode was a mediocre, okay episode, which sucks. I think the last couple episodes were really good. And I think the next episode will probably be really good as well, too. And I think that this one was okay. So let me kind of talk about through the episode of like everything. So first thing is I do like how most of the episode, not all of the episode, but most of the episode focused on his older sister and the relationship with his older sister. Now, before I really dive into that piece, I want to say before his older sister stuff, the summer uniform and dealing with Kay and the mingling of the other girls and Natsukawa being a little bit jealous, very how do you say it? Like she was very apparent. She was very obvious. Obvious is the word. She was very obviously jealous. And I like seeing Kay and Sajo flirt a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think you can really describe it as anything but flirting. I like how Natsukawa noticed them flirting and hasn't said anything about it, but she's obviously jealous by that too because Sajo, the relationship between Sajo and Kay, which is her best friend, is a lot different than her and than Natsukawa and Sajo, right? And it's because Sajo was always pursuing her, very making it evident he liked her in that way. And I guess he probably inadvertently got very close to Kay as well. But the relationship he has with her is very open and honest and touchy and feely, but not necessarily in a romantic way. I don't think on either sense or either side of the ball court there. But the fact is it's still there. And they actually look a lot better together than Natsukawa and Sajo does. But obviously this whole thing has affected Sajo, and even Kay noticed that in her picture, she just didn't look very happy. And you can just tell that, you know, Natsukawa is, you know, on her mind, Sajo's kind of running. He's just running through there pretty much like all the time at this point. But honestly, before the sister stuff, I would say, you know, the before episode was by the numbers. It was just there, you know? The next part is the vice president of student council, or president, vice president, I don't know, took charge and was looking out for Sajo's sister. And apparently, what has happened is ever since his change, right, his awakening, he's changed. And I think that he said it very well himself. He said, I stopped doing things that are uncalled for. So essentially, he just basically, he was made very aware of himself, which I think in turn makes him a better person and more attractive and more appealing. And not necessarily attractive, like, oh, wow, that guy's kind of hot kind of thing. More attractive in a way of like being more approachable and wanting to conversate with that person. And, you know, basically the things that make you socialistically acceptable and probably popular in some sense. He gained those traits by he stopped himself from doing things that are uncalled for. But anyways, the president calls him out for being different, and ever since he's been different, I guess his sister's been very depressed in student council and blaming herself. And I guess she's basically belittled him ever since that they were kids, calling him ordinary and stuff. And although most of that may be true, you know, the pot calling the kettle black, his sister seems pretty ordinary as well. Her really only extraordinary attribute seems to be probably her smarts, you know, book smarts, and the fact that she's student council president. But she's also ordinary, as 99% of all of us are, right? So I think that's kind of an interesting thing too. But she was blaming herself for something that they don't go together at all. He didn't even give it a second thought that his sister had talked ish about him at some point. So the student council president or whatever pulls him up and talks to his sister, and they have a really cool moment. And he basically says, you know, I love you the way you are. Don't change. You know, even though you're kind of an ass sometimes, it's, you know, I love you that way. Or I guess they always say like. I don't know why they never say love, but I guess it's just a Japanese thing, right? He's like, I like you the way you are, kind of thing. They basically go back to being, you know, on good terms again. But then Natsukawa and Kei come busting through. She subconsciously, inadvertently followed and stalked him and was listening in his old conversation, even the part where he said he still likes Natsukawa. So I think that'll probably only be really good for him in the long run. But, you know, I thought that was really cute. And then she ended up running away because he kind of called her out of like, yo, what you doing, girl? And she's like, I don't even know anymore. And I thought that was a really cool part of the thing. And then at the end of the episode, he got his sister a pork bean bun because he said he liked his sister when she's just on her phone, you know, being a quote-unquote queen, eating some pork buns. So he stops at the gas station and he gets her one. I thought that was a really cute gesture. And, you know, something that I never personally experienced myself. I'm an only kid, so I never really had that older sister, younger sister, older brother, younger brother dynamic in my life. But I definitely see it with my own children. You know, them having, you know, each other kind of thing is definitely a beautiful thing to witness when you see your kids having each other's back in a good relationship, even if it's, you know, even when they're through their teen phase to where they're too cool for school, you know, they hate each other. It's still really nice to see that bonding still there, that core love still there. You just can't break it away. I think that's really cool. So that's how I feel about this episode. I think it was an okay episode, you know. Like I said, part of it I did like, part of it I didn't like. You know, I think this was just a episode. It was an okay episode, nothing to write home about. I think we'll get another better one coming soon, especially now that Natsukawa seems to have awakened her own feelings a little bit. So more interesting stuff to come. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Drop me a like before you guys dip set. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys next week. I don't know what I'm doing there, but peace out.